versus Autobot storyline from Age of Extinction. I assume the Autobots saving the world for the umpteenth time would resolve that storyline, and the two main antagonists from that story are both dead. But no, I guess the ending of Age of Extinction meant literally nothing. Whatever. Lennox and these other military characters chase the main crew around through most of the movie, and they aren't all that important. Hot Rod makes his introduction, and I think he's a great addition. He's French, has a lot of personality, has a cool ultimate, has a time gun. He's French. Also, I think it's kind of a cool twist for Earth to be Unicron. Does it make sense with the pre-established movies? No, probably not. But it's still kind of interesting. Optimus Prime story in this movie is complete garbage, though. You see like two scenes in the first two days of the movie, one was captured by Contessa, and another one was evil by Contessa. But then he gets to Earth and it's turned good like 5 minutes later. I don't know what the point of that story was if it was dropped so quickly. I guess it was a way to get Merlin Stat into Megatron's hands, but that's literally it. And Contessa is such a laughably terrible villain. Like Optimus Prime, she's barely in the movie, and her motivations are muddled, and she's easily the most forgettable villain in the entire series. The one good thing that came from this story has to be the Optimus versus Bumblebee fight. Bumblebee is the GOAT. No other Autobot would even dare step up to Optimus and challenge him to a 1v1. I mean, he loses, of course, but he puts up a good fight. However, Beast Boy's magically coming back and turning Optimus to the good side is kind of lazy writing, but whatever. It gives us the final battle quicker. And I think this is a pretty solid final battle. The visuals of this tiny, torn-up Cybertron descending from the sky is really cool, and I really enjoyed how they staged the final battle on this high-up platform. It's shot like an old war movie and full of great moments. Optimus' speech before the final fight, Wade's blowing up the giant cannon, the Dragon Transformer is pretty awesome, and of course, the most infamous moment from this entire film, Optimus Prime's sixth man. But still, Transformers The Last Knight is mediocre at best. And while I enjoy it more than Revenge of the Fallen or Age of Extinction, I can't really put it above either of them. So I'm going to put it in D tier.
Are we cringing yet?
Bumblebee is such a special Transformers film. From the very beginning, this movie delivers something we've been wanting forever. We actually get a full-on scene from the war on Cybertron. And oh my goodness, this is a fantastic scene. The battle is super dynamic, and we get to see familiar Autobots and Decepticons sporting their G1 looks. Ironhide, Ratchet, Wheeljack, Soundwave, Starscream, Shockwave. All these classic Transformers look so cool, and Optimus is an absolute beast in this movie. We don't get to see a lot of him because this is the Bumblebee movie, but what we do see is very memorable. Seriously, his stand against the entire Decepticon force is something to behold. He grabs Skywarp like he's nothing and throws him away like he's nothing. I think most of the villains in this movie are really solid. Dropkick, Shatter, and to a lesser extent Blitzwing are all intimidating Decepticons that outclass Bumblebee in every way. They're bigger, stronger, and have more abilities than Bee, and it's thrilling to see him outsmart each of these foes and win the day. And Bumblebee won because, of course, he's the GOAT. And I think Dropkick and Shatter's motivations make sense as villains. They're foot soldiers in an ongoing war, and they'll do whatever it takes to get the job done. And on the human side, I think Agent Burns is a fairly well-characterized human antagonist. He has this arc of hating Bumblebee and any other Transformer, and then slowly begins to see Bee in a different light. After Bumblebee goes out of his way to save him, it's not a groundbreaking story arc or anything, but it's a more bizarre than a character. Most of the other military scenes are kind of boring. While it is really cool that the government would team up with the Decepticons, how convincing the higher-ups by playing on their fears of Russia and the Cold War makes the storyline more believable. And it's absolutely hilarious that John Cena is the only one with reservations about working with the Decepticons.
What do we call themselves? Decepticons.
Out of all the different military characters in this franchise, this is the only one who makes any sense. But I have to talk about the absolute best part of this movie. The fact that this is the first Transformers film that's purely character-driven. Charlie Watson is easily the most well-written human character in this entire franchise. When we're first introduced to her, she's very cynical and doesn't get along with her family. We learn that after her dad's passing, she's struggling to move on from her grief, and old things she used to do now only bring her pain. She doesn't high dive anymore, she doesn't go through her dad's old music, and she's frustrated by the fact that she can't fix her dad's old car. But after meeting Bumblebee, he helps her go through this arc of opening up about her grief, accepting it, and that slide. And at the end of the movie, Dee isn't only fighting for him or the other Autobots, he's also fighting for his friend. She helps him remember who he is, an Autobot, and a hero who will stop at nothing to save the day. But most Transformers movies, you're there for the action set pieces and the big explosions and stuff. Oh, with Bumblebee, I'm here for them. The action sequences are fun and exciting. There's a bunch of laughs to be had with Nemo and Charlie's family. The villains are threatening and really raise the stakes. All of that is all well and good. But at the end of the day, what makes the movie so special is the characters grow up in their own different ways. What delivers as well as people, and that's why it's the best Transformers movie ever made. Also, what's funny is that Judd Nelson is in two Transformers movies. He voiced Autobot in the original, and here he is in Bumblebee as a tiny John Bender on Charlie's TV. This is the amusing thing I mentioned way back in my ranking for Transformers the movie. Bumblebee is fantastic and always a joy to go back and rewatch. It's going in S tier. Monkey Movie. Transformers Rise of the Beasts is an almost perfect Transformers film. It has a really great beginning and a really great climactic ending, but the middle section of the movie is a bit underwhelming. As soon as the main characters go to Peru, the pacing tanks. It becomes really inconsistent until the final battle. Noah and Elena exploring the temple area is really uninteresting. There's a ton of exposition from Optimus Prime about what the Maximals were doing for all these years. And then there's that whole situation with Air Ranger turning evil and giving the Transwarp key to Scourge. This whole area of the movie is really jumbled and it also hurts the character stories. Optimus Prime and Noah have a parallel character arc of learning to work with each other even though they're not from the same group of people. These story arcs are well set up and have a solid finish when they full on team up to fight Scourge, but their stories don't get any solid development in the middle portion of the story. We just get a couple awkward scenes, like when Noah's gonna destroy the Transwarp key and Optimus begs them not to. Well, like I mentioned, the film's beginning and ending are solid. For starters, it's awesome seeing the Maximals in live action. They are actually important to the film's story, unlike the Dinobots in Age of Extinction. And the movie doesn't tease you with the Maximals, it starts off with them right away in one of the best opening scenes of the whole series. This opener is great at establishing what the movie is about. It shows us the Transwarp key, the Maximals, Unicron, and the main villain of the film, Scourge. And oh man, Scourge is such a good villain. He's threatening, he's strong, he's voiced by Peter Dinklage. He has it all. And he says one of the hardest lines in all of Transformers.
I enjoy that look of confusion when an inferior being meets a higher power.
But I will say though, some of his lines are hilariously flat.
Master, the reinforcements.
He also heavily raises the stakes of the film by killing Bumblebee, who was previously thought to be unkillable. And just about all the other Transformers stuff in this movie is fantastic. The Autobot team is full of personality. Wheeljack, Stratosphere, and especially Mirage are standouts. And the friendship between Mirage and Noah is fairly well developed. They have a ton of scenes just eating buds. And Pete Davidson gives a really solid vocal performance. And Optimus Prime was a standout. He's legendary in every movie he's in, but here, Optimus has actual character development. It's not the most well-written arc, as I've already mentioned, but it's still interesting to see Prime find his values of protecting all life. And Peter Cullen sells every line of this movie, especially this one.
I'm going to take that urgency. Take off.
That's cool. I feel like we're not talking about the new Transformers and G.I. Joe movie enough. Like, that's happening. We're getting that. Crazy times. My absolute favorite aspect about this movie is the action scenes. There are two in particular that I think are some of the best in the whole series. The museum fight is pretty awesome. Visually, it looks great with it being lit by all the fire, and all the Autobots are doing awesome stuff. And there's even a solid little scary sequence with Noah and Elena escaping Freezer and Novocaine. But the huge battle at the end of the movie is spectacular. There is so much happening, and it's all awesome. The Maximals maximizing, Prime and Primal killing Battlecraft, Mirage's sacrifice and Noah becoming a knockoff Iron Man, Optimus keeping his promise and taking off Scourge's head. It's all cool as hell, and will leave a lasting impact on me for years to come. But the absolute best part of this final sequence is Bumblebee's resurrection. Him dropping down from the sky when the Autobots needed reinforcements was amazing. And it proves that once and for all, Bumblebee really is the greatest of all time. Transformers Rise of the Beast is a blast to watch, but it's sadly held down by that tiresome middle section. So I'm going to put it in B tier. Before I get to Transformers 1, I just want to say if you're enjoying this video so far, why not hit that subscribe button? You just I gotta be honest, I did not expect Transformers 1 to be this good. I think I speak for everyone when I say the first trailer for this movie looked really bad. The animation was a bit jarring, it looked like it had more of a kiddie tone, and the story seemed muddled, but the finished product is a thoroughly satisfying Transformers film that really focuses on the growing divide between Optimus Prime and Megatron. One thing that's going to be very make or break for this movie with a lot of audience members is the casting. People really dog on celebrity casting in animated movies, and while I agree that sometimes the hate is warranted, I firmly believe this cast does a really good job. Scarlett Johansson's voice works really well for Alita 1, who's a more serious and by-the-books type of character. Brian Tyree Henry is great as D-16. His full turn into Megatron is made more believable because of the intensity and sincerity of Henry's vocal performance. Seriously, this guy full-on becomes Megatron by the end. The one actor I wasn't sure on was Keegan-Michael Key as B-127. It wasn't apparent already. Bumblebee is my favorite Transformers character, and I was really worried about his characterization